Word on the street is they giving out statues for nothing. Well, hey, where can I go and get my statue? I want one of those statues too. This video is brought to you by Extreme Tees. Click on the link below. Make sure you put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. Gold and silver have stood the test of time. They give stability in times like these. Start an IRA this month with Noble Gold. And along with the first class service, they're gifting a 1/10 ounce gold bullion American Eagle coin. And you will have peace of mind knowing that you made the right choice, as well as growing thousands of extra tax deferred dollars in your fund over the years, safely and steadily. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, let's get back to this video. What's going on, America? Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I'm trying to make sense out of this nonsense that y'all probably have heard of by now. Now listen, before I even get into this, I want to put my disclaimer out there. Yes, I'm black. And also, I'm saying this out of my own opinion. I'm not under duress. I'm not being held hostage. And I'm not being paid by white folks, okay? But I got a problem with this George Floyd statue. Okay, the statue I hear is what, 700 pounds of nothing? I said to myself, you gotta be kidding me. If they're giving away statues for George Floyd, then why can't we all get one? That right there is a waste of money, manpower, tax dollars. And the reason I say that is not because, I got a problem personally with George Floyd. No, I don't. I never met the man. I got a problem of what they're trying to make out of George Floyd and what they're trying to use his death for and how it really degrades black folks. See, now I'm going to say this very directly. I got people in my family who are lifelong criminals. They got all kind of habits, drugs, violence, you name it. If one of them get killed by a police officer, I am not going to say, you know what, just because my cousin and them lived a life of crime, was on drugs, acting a complete fool most of their life, in and out of jail, but happened to end their life, unfortunately, at the hands of a white police officer, that should erase everything they've ever done and also use them to become a national hero in the minds of all the young black boys and girls growing up. My cousin's lifestyle prior to him being killed by a police officer was not a good example of how to be a positive person. So now all of a sudden we get George Floyd in the same category as Martin Luther the King, in the same category as Malcolm the X, Abraham the Lincoln, and many, many others that got statues built around the United States for them. This is what bothers me, guys. See, George Floyd did not make a conscious effort to be killed. He didn't put his life at risk for the cause. This man happened to be on drugs, happened to run into that police officer, happened to take more drugs, probably trying to make sure those police officers didn't catch him with the drugs, happened to resist arrest to a degree, wanted to get in and out of the cop car, wanted to just go ahead and be put on the ground, was talking about I can't breathe before the cop put his knee on his back and all that stuff, and then passed away. And because we live in America right now and during the time where there's a political element within the media and within our Democrat Party that are using these kind of situations to exploit black folks, and they forget all about everything that led up to this person dying. That doesn't matter. They want to paint the victim as the hero, but not just the victim. A victim that lived a life that had a series of choices that, from what we can see, never ever was rectified. It wasn't like he was Malcolm X who went to prison, came out, rehabilitated, jumped out there and started going hard on his activism. No, this man lived like a criminal. He was on drugs. And like I said, I'm not knocking. Everybody got their vices. Everybody got their problems. But do we glorify them? Now, this man did not, as far as I know, he wasn't out there, as a beacon of light for black equality. He wasn't out there with his fist up, power to the people. This dude was just enjoying life, drinking, I guess, and taking drugs and doing whatever. But what you don't do is erase all of that and say now this man is a hero, unless you want to use his death for a constant reminder that America is systemically racist and all of our cops and police officers are systemically white racist people too. You would only use this man's life and death in the context of a statue if you wanted to keep ripping that band-aid of racism off so the wound can bleed. So it can be a constant reminder of all of those who look at this and say, you got to be kidding me. How did George Floyd get a statue? You want me to celebrate that? You done made this man into an idol, and you want me to be taking selfies and stuff with that statue? I'm not doing it. Therefore, when the next election cycle come up and they start asking politicians, did you support the statue of George Floyd? No. I mean, it's sad that that happened to him, but he's no hero. He wasn't fighting for the cause. Do you think George Floyd woke up that day and said, now's my time to go out and risk my life for humanity, for black folks, for equality? I know I may be killed. You think that was his thought? But according to Nancy Pelosi, who is an opportunist, who is also a race baiter, who's a manipulator, she got out there talking about, thank you, George Floyd, for your sacrifice.
So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous. Thank you, George Floyd.
What sacrifice? So if getting up, going somewhere, writing bad checks, using drugs, ends someone up on a curb and unfortunately they die because of it, is a sacrifice, then there's been a whole bunch of brothers who done been sacrificed and had no idea they were doing it. A whole bunch of brothers who was just out there resisting arrest, breaking laws, all that stuff, and ended up encountering a white cop that took their life. And all of a sudden now, they just, well, I thought I was just being a criminal and I got busted. But finds out that I'm a hero. I mean, I done fought for the cause. I done made a sacrifice for the black movement. The only sacrifice that was made was really at the altar of critical race theory, at the altar of race baiting, at the altar of identity politics, at the altar of these corrupt politicians who don't care about no George Floyd or his kids and his family or statue. All they care about is being able to use George Floyd's death as a hammer to bludgeon Republicans, conservatives, and so on and so forth. They want to use that death to keep shoveling it down everybody's throat. They want to use that death to shut up all opposition. They want to use that death to keep black folks always going. Now see those Democrats, they know all about our struggle. Look at them, they did a nice thing. They put a whole statue up there of George Floyd. Well, guess what? If he gets one, I get one. Heck, I've never held a woman by gunpoint and tried to rob her. I want a statue.
I'm too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me.
I mean, I've never been addicted to drugs. I want a statue. I mean, come on now. If this man's life led to that, what are you going to tell your kids? If you got little black children, son, one day you can grow up, hold people at gunpoint, especially pregnant women, take lots and lots of drugs, never really get over it, never show a rehabilitation of your life or anything. But maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, you might encounter a police officer. And if you do, all you got to do is pop all those drugs. And then when they try to arrest you, whether, it's your fault or the cops, we don't know. Because right now, those Democrats, they're for all criminals. They're for anyone that they can use to bludgeon their enemies and say racism is everywhere. So, son, if you die, regardless of how you lived your life, at the hands of a white police officer, you too can be a hero. You want your own statue? That's the way to go. No, that is not the example that we should be using to tell our young black men and women that this is the best of our kind. These are the type of folks you want to pattern your life after, son. So you don't just say that just because a person was in the wrong place at the wrong time, regardless of you being black, white, or otherwise, that person in the wrong place at the wrong time wasn't an activist, wasn't some person out there fighting for the cause. In fact, left trails, and I mean trails, of all of the things that you try to steer your kids away from. You try to, encourage folks in society, don't go down that path. All of those things that person represented. But then, just because they ended up becoming the victim of a death by the hands of a white officer, we are to erase all of that history, and now they're heroes. Well, I figured out why they're doing this, because the Democrats do the same thing. They have tried to erase all of those years and years of history of owning slaves, bringing in Jim Crow, bringing in segregation, products of Willie Lynch. They done had some Robert Byrd mixed in. They done slid a smidge of Margaret Sanger in there. They done got themselves some Joe Biden talking about, I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle and all of that mess. And somehow all of this history of the Democrat Party, all of that Jim Crow that Joe was talking about, y'all remember that? This is like Jim Eagle. This is Jim Crow on steroids. Somehow magically has been erased. And for some reason now, they've become a hero too. Some reason now, they are now champions of, fighting against racism. And for black people, they were once the identification of nothing but the devil. They were Diablos manifested in the flesh. So somehow though, all of that history has just been wiped away, and now they're heroes and they wear the white hat. No wonder they're not concerned about the past of a man like George Floyd or any of the rest of these young black men or women who, it's sad, but when you look at the details, you might come to the conclusion, in many of those cases, in fact, more than less, they got themselves shot. So now, if you are looking to immortalize yourself in society, and you've lived a life of crime and all of those things, you want to go out in a bang, go get yourself killed by a white police officer, and then you too can become a hero. You too can have statues made after you. So guys, since I haven't done any of those things, I want a statue too. If George Floyd get one, then that must mean they're handing them out like candy. So where's my statue? Oh, I don't get one? Yeah, I didn't think so. Because my message is too real for me to get a statue. So anyway, God bless y'all. God bless America. Yeah, so anybody who's a person of color who stumbles across this video and you're still under the hypnotism of the Democrat Party and the liberal media, and you're probably thinking this guy right here is a sellout. He's an Uncle Tom. No. In fact, I love black people. And that is why I'm against this statue. Because I don't want to send the wrong signal to our black people that you can live like this and somehow become a hero just because you was in the wrong place at the wrong time and a white cop killed you, and the Democrats want to use your death so they can obtain more power and manipulation over black folks. Now, it might be tight, but it's right. God bless y'all. God bless America. I'm still going to be looking for my statue, but I ain't going to hold my breath. All right. So don't forget, check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. I love their products. Yeah, man. If you like their products, put Kevin in the promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. And also find me on Rumble. The link is below. Okay. I'm putting other videos on there, so I ain't got to worry about YouTube on my back. Not because I'm black. Nah, that's not why it is. Because, see, you would think since they're being so open and liberal. But no, they're not on my back because I'm black. They're on my back because I'm a black conservative. That's why. So that's why I'm on Rumble. So go check it out. Get your Rumble account. Hit that like button. Share this video. If you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. Links are below. Okay? All that good stuff. And we'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let me see. Is my statue? Are they starting to Are they assembling? No? Okay. All right, well, I mean, maybe I just got to go out and make my own statue out of wood or something. I don't know. But anyway, God bless y'all. See y'all next time. Kevin's Corner. Take care.